Hello there guys, and welcome back to my channel for yet another What We Really Learned. This time from Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1, and hey, Demi told us that he got his prediction spot on. I had a bad feeling ahead of the game, but I kind of just told myself and talked myself into it that, you know, the bad feeling must be wrong and we will somehow scrape through it. Well, I was wrong. And, you know, we were all taught a bit of a lesson because, and when I say all, I mean us three here, I mean the team, I mean Lampard, I mean bloody everybody involved with Chelsea because, hey, it was a bad day. It was a bad day. And to make things worse, it wasn't bloody Boxing Day. I mean, I know not all of you guys celebrate Christmas, but if you did, it wasn't a good Boxing Day, that's for sure. But of course, as you can see, we are joined by Mr. Carefree Lewis G and the Grand Dam, who I didn't even know and plan to come on. So hence why you're not in the title yet, because I didn't realize you were coming on. I will change this later, obviously. But boys, Lewis, first, thank you for coming on, first of all. And let's just ignore the game for a second. How you doing?
I'll be real. The game's a huge impact on my mood right now. Everyone is just jumping over my dead body. Twitter is absolutely peak. Everyone is memeing the hell out of me. Yeah, thanks, Chelsea. I went to bat for you, man, the whole week where everyone was being low on confidence saying, oh, we're going to lose, we're going to lose. I sat there like, bro, this is one of the worst Arsenal sides we've ever seen in the last 50 years. This team haven't been an English side since November the 1st, and the only time they did that was because of a penalty that was handed to them on a silver platter. On paper, on form, on any way that you look at it, that should have been a Chelsea win. It should have been a straightforward Chelsea W, and it was anything but straightforward. We let Granit Xhaka and a bunch of uni students dance all over us for 90 minutes. It was embarrassing.
All right, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I've got two good people on here today. We'll have a lot of laughs, even if it wasn't. Is it a depressing topic? These two are good. Dammy, the top of them all. How you doing, bro? They're telling you.
Bro, listen. Oh man, I saw that game. Yeah, I done all the ranting and everything yesterday. Man just went around. You know, I went to do some shopping to make myself feel better. These man, you know, Arsenal. Yeah, I can't. It's literally only Chelsea Football Club can make an Arsenal team that's been the worst in the past 45 years look better than the Prime Avengers X Fantastic Four. It's mad. Right. Honest to God, these men have messed us up so badly. And if they don't dismantle, I don't care, dismantle Aston Villa, oh my God. Let me just say that as much as we're all ranting right now, we're all giving level ticks. Let me just put it like that. That's how frustrated every single one of us are right now, because that was embarrassing. Simply put, damn right embarrassing. But I'm good. I'm happy. I'm alive. So like, yeah, that's what
I see. That is what I like. Adam has literally just donated £2. Didn't even say a word. Well, cheers, bro.
Just to our pain. Appreciated, bro.
Exactly. Just make things a bit better. Of course. Subscribe to the guys. Like I said, Dammy's link isn't anywhere yet, but you can see his name right there. Just type it into YouTube. The man's finally joined the gang. You know, the man's finally joined the gang. Check out his Twitter, check out his YouTube. And obviously, you guys know Lewis. Chances of you being subscribed to me and not to Lewis, probably quite slim. But if that's somehow the case, go and subscribe to him as well, obviously.
Two for one deal. You got to subscribe to both of us, man. In fact, the three of us, you already know.
Exactly. And if you are here and I haven't subscribed to me, first of all, what you're doing, subscribe right now, smash the like button, and let's talk about the game. As you can see from my title and my thumbnail, what I wanted to make this about is what I will say social media, but then again, we are, you know, no one's allowed at football, so do fans outside of social media? I mean, you can't really hear them these days, so I guess the only fans are on social media at the moment, like vocal ones. And there's a lot of people talking about Lampard should be sacked. Lampard, you know, will be sacked. There's a lot of people that talk about this. And what I want to focus on mainly is there actually a real threat of that happening? Is he in actual serious danger of that happening? And how bad to, you know, upcoming games have to go for that to become a thing? Because for me, I don't think he's in serious danger right now. I said this in my preview that I uploaded earlier on Blues Fans TV as well. If after 3 losses in 4 games was a serious situation to like sack someone, Conte should have been sacked much earlier. Sarri should have been sacked much earlier. And we didn't sack those either. So why on earth do people think Lampard will get sacked now? I mean, if you think he should get, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just disagree. But, you know, we've spoken, obviously, some of you might be here from Lewis's chat, and we touched on it to some extent there already. We've spoken about, obviously, I want to get Demi's thoughts on it as well, because he wasn't quite there yet for that. But we spoke about the whole issue of cross after cross after cross. I think we all noticed that 34 crosses, 2 shots on target, 3 shots on target. Some places say 3, some places say 2. It ain't good enough. And it's honestly been, since Hakim Ziyech got injured, that's all we've done. One cross after the other. And to be honest, even when Ziyech played, all we did was crosses, but at least we had 2 types of crosses, the in and the out swingers. But now we literally only just give the ball to Reece James and hope. That's all we do. In some way, it's almost good that Reece James won't play against Aston Villa tomorrow, because at least we'll have to think of something different. But what do you guys think? First of all, Dammy, do you think the issue is the formation? Do you think the issue is Lampard? Do you think the issue is just we need to just find a different way? And the main question, do you think Lampard would actually want the players to do something else and they're not doing it? Or do you think that Lampard is actually just asking this from them and it's not working? Because we obviously don't know.
He's asking them to play cross and inshallah football. That's what he wants them to do. Unfortunately, that's putting it plainly and simply is put the ball into the box and hope. Like I said on your stream, Lewis, this man got these people crossing into Timo Werner, who's less than 6 foot, crossing into Tammy Abraham, who can't even manage to get his balance together, crossing into N'Golo Kante. This man is so bloody short, and you're crossing the ball into him. That don't make no sense. For me, the problem if I think about this properly, the problem is actually we don't know what the appointment of Lampard means. I was going to do a video on this because I feel like it would be very fitting. But Frank Lampard as the manager, what exactly was Lampard appointed for? That is what I think we all need to sit down and look at. Was Frank Lampard actually appointed to come into this job and win trophies for us long term? Laurenz, I think we've had this discussion quite a few times before in the past on your channel as well. I think we've had that as well, but I keep going back to that because it's so evident that he's learning on the job. Chelsea Football Club is not a place to learn on the job. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, now the board have put all the fans in 2 stupid extremes. Do you know what I mean? Is it just me or is it kind of bad? No one, not one to. It's met before I even get to the players. Let me just
let's not
even talk about. Let's do top level stuff. For me, like I said, the board have put all of us in such an uncomfortable position, and they know exactly what they did with that appointment. Arsenal know what they did with their appointment. Barcelona know what they did. Madrid knew what they did when they put his hand. All these clubs know what they're doing whenever they put ex-players in positions like this. Lampard, there's so much politics involved. For example, dropping players like Timo Werner and Kai Havertz is not going to go very well with the upper hierarchy. Do you know I'm coming from? Especially considering how much was spent during the pandemic. Now you've got Frank Lampard trying to learn so many different things on the job. And like I said, you've got 2 extremes. Yesterday, you're getting people that are saying Lampard out, blah, blah, blah. And then on the other hand, you have people telling me that if we got relegated, they would still back Frank Lampard. That is freaking unbelievable. Do you know what I'm saying? I've not seen the family. There's this divide starting to build up. I'm not saying that we're as divided as like we're under Sarri or Conte or anything, but Jesus Christ, things right now are just all over the place. Because I said on my video, if his name was not Frank Lampard and it wasn't Frank Lampard, this performance would put me in the out bracket. And I know very well, so people are telling me I'm biased. I am 100% confident that I am biased towards Frank Lampard. If there's anyone that I would be biased towards, it is Frank Lampard. But I do know that if this was anyone else, they would be 100% gone. I can't come to terms with ever. I can never come to terms with. You can't expect me to utter Frank Lampard out. That's never going to happen. I've got 8, 9 jerseys with his name on the back of it. He's the one that got me in love with football. But I hate the club for what they've done because they put all of us in such a stupid position. Do you get where I'm coming from? The man is learning on the job. I really just hope that things get better because, like I said, I want him to succeed. But bro, right now, I have to put this down on Lampard. Like you said, like we were saying on Lewis's stream, I don't understand that players back in the day would be like, okay, we need to look at ourselves and reflect and all of that. And then it's not always the manager's fault. But man, the tactics also were shocking, bro. When we had the ball, we were not really doing anything else. And like I said, there are so many different red flags that I've been talking about since, but you don't talk negativity when we're winning. Do you know what I mean? Laurenz, we spoke about this several times on stream in the past, innit? So I rest my case. It's
true. Like, a lot of the things that Dammy just brought up, we've spoken about before. I mean, the whole learning on the job is an issue. I mean, I think we touched on this before as well. We were kind of in a situation where, Juventus got Sarri and we were like, we have a transfer ban. Who on earth would even come here right now? We took Lampard. you think it makes sense. And then, you have these great periods where we just annihilate people, like the Burnley game, the Sheffield United game, the Leeds game. We were bloody brilliant in those games. And you have these performances, and then it starts dipping again. And to some extent, I'm 100% sure that has to do with inexperience. And I feel like the biggest problem is that we have a mix of inexperience in staff and players right now. If it was like, one part was experienced, it will work probably, or work better at least. But because both sides are inexperienced, that's where we get an issue. And I've seen a lot of people touch on this on Twitter as well. What about Jody Morris? What about Joe Edwards? These guys are good coaches, but are they good enough coaches, or are they ready to coach the likes of Timo Werner, someone that comes there with an ego, someone like a Christian Pulisic, someone like a Thiago Silva? That's a bit different to coaching some under 16s. Do you know what I mean? That is not quite the same thing. But then you look at the performance yesterday, and in my opinion, other than Pulisic and Zuma, everyone was diabolical. I let Tammy off to some extent. At least he got a goal. No one else got a shot on target other than him and Jorginho in the pin. So, that is something, because no one bloody else did. But I thought everyone had, we touched on Chilwell and Bench and Reece James probably shouldn't have played. Mourinho certainly had those things. Every manager has played players that they shouldn't have played, and it's backfired on them. I don't think that will say, Lampard is now awful because of that. Hey, he felt the pressure after the last few results. Even if we beat West Ham, he felt the pressure. He knew Arsenal was going to be a more difficult game than people thought, and he risked it. It clearly didn't work. But I feel like there's much bigger problems because none of these players are performing. Like, N'Golo Kante is doing defensively well, but half the time when he gets a ball under pressure, first time pass, the man passes it out for a throw-in every single time. Every time. Mateo Kovacic does a cheeky little back heel touch, runs after it, gets clattered into by Mazi or Mario or whatever the centre-back's name is. But other than that, I've not seen him done. He didn't do anything. He didn't drag the ball forward. He didn't create any chances. He didn't really link up with anybody, hence he was taken off at half-time. We got to the point that Jorginho comes on and actually helps. And we thought we were getting to the point this season where Jorginho would be slowly but surely fading out of the team, not coming on and actually making us better anymore. Like, you see that there is big issues going on, and then you see the front three. And Pulisic is great when he's on the ball and dribbles, but there's no link up between any of them. Timo Werner can't control the ball. Timo Werner can't pass the ball. And when he gets to shooting, had one shot yesterday, he put that about 3 yards wide and less power than Manan would have put on it. So we can talk about Lampard all we bloody want. If the best manager in the world, if the players don't perform, is an issue. But
no, but
Lampard, hold on. Both do things wrong. Hence why I don't like the fact that Lampard is just blamed or just the players are to blame. Both parties are to blame. I don't think any club is ever in serious trouble if just players or just manager do wrong, right? Do you get where I'm coming from? And Lewis, what I would like to know from you is, first of all, do you think he should change it drastically and almost do an Arteta where, Arsenal lost all these games, and out of nowhere against us, they play 3 players that haven't started a Premier League game this season that actually did well in the Europa League, and out of nowhere it works. Whether it's Smith Rowe, whether it's Martinelli, whether it's all these players.
You're saying Livramento against Aston Villa or something?
Well, I'm touching on things. Or even just taking a Billy Gilmore. Do you know what I mean? Starting an Andrew in the Premier League game. Is that what needs to be done right now? Or is it just like, okay, see the bad spell out. We have a bad period every season. Kind of irrelevant to who the manager is. We have one bad spell every season. Or is it a deeper lying issue and you're actually worried that, Lampard isn't quite it?
Here's the thing, and I'm basing it off a couple of things. First off, you spoke about Tino Andrin. There was a perfect time where we could have played him, like the Everton game where we were 1-0 down and we were begging for a winger. Our only winger was Tino Andrin, but we didn't play him because inexperience. It's like, I don't care about inexperience. I care about a player that fits the type of player that we need in that situation. We needed a winger. This guy literally started his first Champions League game 5 days before. He can come on in a league game after that. We went and played Tammy Abraham on the wing instead. Yeah, he used to play as a winger back in the youth days, but he's not a winger. We needed a winger. And there's another thing where we keep trying to put different players in different positions. And I understand trying to be versatile. Maybe it's a case where they're trying to teach him for next season and it's Frank Lampard's 3-year plan or something. I don't know. There's a bit of speculation on it. One thing I do know, and that is facts, is that At this point last season, compared to this point this season, we are 2 or 3 points further behind. And we're projected right now to finish on 62 points for the season based on our form right now, which is 4 points worse than we were last season. Now, me and Ian were speaking plenty of times on preseason live streams about what to expect from Chelsea for the season. And the one thing Ian said, which was a very big point to me, was we want not to try and look at it from a place perspective, but to try and look at it from a points perspective, because we were only looking at this season of trying to be title contenders or trying to do more than we did last season, just keep going on that upward trajectory. Right now, we aren't doing that. And this is meant to be a better season for us. It's meant to be a season where we're a lot more confident, and we're underachieving based on the work we did last season with an even worse squad, with even more injuries, and even more lost in terms of we lost Eden Hazard and we had a transfer ban and no players. So I'm asking questions. I cannot lie. I'm always going to be that guy that is going to ask questions. I am fully Frank Lampard in right now, but I believe in the Chelsea ruthlessness where you do need to ask questions if issues are going wrong. Dammy, you said a very good point where Frank Lampard, where if this wasn't Frank Lampard, it was a different manager, it would be Frank Lampard's head gone. You already know the Maurizio Sarri stuff that we had to deal with in the 18-19 season. And I'll also thank God we're not in grounds, because I feel like if we were in a really bad run of form, the match-going fans would be an absolute embarrassment and just prolong it. Because I've heard match-going fans say, oh, I'd like to see, we could lose 20 games under Frank Lampard. I'll still be screaming Super Frankie Lampard every week. I'll be like, what?
You've lost the plot.
Exactly. Like, I love Lampard, but I won't say it's completely out of the ordinary for me to turn and say Lampard out if it got to that point. I am more than willing to carry that on my chest and say I was wrong if that is the point. But you were right. We're saying Lampard is learning on the job, and that was a very damning statement. And he is, which is also half the reason why I'm not really Lampard out right now. For a manager that is learning on the job, he's not doing too bad.
No,
like, there's still questions.
He's learning on the job. That's the thing. He's learning on the job. But my thing is right now, the thing is,
Chelsea, we shouldn't be
learning. When you're learning, I like it. See, this is what I said to someone like yesterday, because I was speaking to some of my Chelsea fans off camera, off Twitter. They don't use Twitter. You're my mates, you know what I'm saying? And they were like asking me, "Damn, why were you so?" I'm like, okay, he's learning. Okay, he wants to learn on the job. That is fine. Okay, let's say you've got AS, you've got A2, right? So 2 years of A levels. Let's assume his first year was AS, and let's say his usual, like his after school tutor, usually, let's say he passed away. That's the equivalent of having the transfer ban and losing his Hazard. Okay, you come into your first year of AS and you get B, even when you expected to get B. All right. Next year, you're still expected to improve upon what you had last year. So I don't give a rat's ass if your previous requirement was BBB and you surpassed it. You have set a boundary and you've set a level that you should either not even maintain, you should be surpassing. Because this year, not only have you gotten another tutor, okay, you've gotten more books, you've gotten more access to online stuff, you've had a bigger upgrade in terms of your support around you. Do you get where I'm coming from? So even if he wants to learn on the job, I am fine, okay? And this is more of a longer term thing. It's just that these 3 out of 4 defeats have been embarrassing. That's why a lot of people are entertaining this conversation right now. But I'm just looking at the whole long-term thing. He needs to hit some certain goals. And the way we are moving right now, I don't know if we can hit them. We need to go farther than we did last season in the Champions League. We need to win a trophy this season because we got to a final last year. And we need to make sure that we enter the top 4, top 3, and it has to be convincing. So for me, if he doesn't get top 4 this season, that is a sackable offense because you have done worse with more money. So when I say learning on the job, you can learn on the job all you want. But as long as you're improving, if you're not improving and you've been given so much more, oh my God, you're messing up badly. Management, in-game management last season, everybody gassed it up. I went on someone's podcast and I said, nah, it's not as great as we all think it actually is. Because last season, all the players that we had were all trying to prove a big point. The youth players last season had a massive point to prove. Hence why we even did as well as we did. This year, the fight is not even as bad as it is because you've got Timo Werner who knows he's going to start. You've got Kai Havertz who knows he's going to play. You've got Ben Chua who's going to play. Reece James, them lot. So the fight is not even there. So that's why I keep on saying that from a managerial standpoint, okay, you can't tell me Lampard doesn't have everything he needs because a lot of people are going to bring up that Declan Rice excuse and say that Kante is not a GM. But when it was time for Jorginho to bounce, Kante was conveniently the world's best GM. But now he's not. Are you crazy? Now everybody's switching up the narratives to balance everything.
I love that Kante one, by the way, because I was getting roasted for the longest when I said Kante won a natural DM. And here we are. Kante had a poor game against Arsenal at the Emirates again.
Exactly. So my point is that let me not even get into Kante starting because I love Kante. But the thing is, a lot of people just like to ignore the whole card fact. Mourinho said it himself. Anyone that just uses stats to watch football is completely clueless. But you need stats to support something. Because when you see a lot of people like to drag Jorginho for dribble pass. Do you know Kante's dribble pass stats in his last few games? Have you pulled up all the statistics? I don't even want to drag up this, but they exist and they're obviously there. Do you get where I'm coming from? So all these different elements to the thing are what I'm looking at. And I'm like, okay, the fans that are just being extremists right now are not helping matters, okay? And the fact that we don't seem to be on an upward trajectory at the moment is also not helping matters because every single thing that he needs, he has. You can't tell me that the club didn't get him the players that he wants because he has every single one.
I will disagree with it because he didn't sign Timo Werner that can't touch a ball, that can't pass a ball, and that can't shoot to save his life. No. That was make a big difference.
Lampard wasn't Werner wasn't his signing.
No. Of course, but he didn't sign him to be awful. Like we know that Werner is actually a good player, and I'm not accepting Lampard slander because Timo Werner can't do nothing. You know,
you're spot on. See, that's not what I'm even trying to get at.
But that makes a difference, though. It makes a difference because you said the projection in points and stuff. It makes a difference if these players were actually doing what they can do, system or not. They're not. Some of them are not playing as well as they could be playing. And Timo Werner and Kai Havertz are a big part of it. And I said this on the stream, on Lewis's stream before you turned up as well. We signed Hakim Ziyech because we had an issue with chance creation. Now he's injured, so yes, it is an excuse. Because if we didn't have the problem, we wouldn't have had to sign him in the first place. Like that's the only reason we signed.
It was quite high, wasn't it? We created so many chances last season.
Yeah, but we didn't create good chances, in my opinion. I always thought. I'm sat here and I'm like, this ain't the sitter. Today, this season, this is a different story. When Ziyech was playing, I was like, all right, this is a sitter, this is a sitter, this is a sitter. And Timo Werner happened to miss most of them. But I feel like I agree with a lot of the things you're saying, and Lampard is learning on the job. The only thing I disagree, that's not his fault. He didn't appoint himself. He is learning on the job, and he should be learning quicker in some occasions. But then we weren't saying that a month ago when we were battering everybody. Do you know what I mean? And that wasn't a 3-0 battering of West Ham. That was annihilating Burnley. That was annihilating Leeds. That was annihilating Sheffield United. We was all happy then. And now we have these issues left, right, and centre. Do you know what I mean? And I get that. Let me just quickly because otherwise I forget. The super chats that we got. First of all, appreciate the $5 donation, bro. And basically we've touched on this already, but this is not the same Chelsea as in the glory days. He's not the only one learning. Players are too. This is a rebuild. That's a fact. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's why we signed these players to stop so much of the learning thing. That's why we signed. I mean, I know obviously Havertz and Werner are young as well, but because they were so good already, we expected a little bit less of that issue. It turns out we still have that issue, arguably even more so than we did last season, especially with them two, and Ziyech's injury, and the fact that all of our wingers are consistently injured. And then the same dude, cheers, bro. Another donation. Lampard was brought in for the long term. We didn't spend like 2009 Real Madrid, basically saying buying finished product, ready prime players to win things right now. We spent it for the future. The players don't have the mentality yet. I agree with this to some extent, right? The players don't have the mentality yet, but they should do. Again, they're 20, they're not 16. Before you guys get into the rest of what you have to say, just quickly, do you agree with this? The players don't have the mentality yet?
Nah, I do not. I'm sorry, bro. I don't listen. Oh God, I'm ready for you, man.
Oh, this time is getting back.
When we're signing each and every single one of these, everybody and their godmother thought Chilwell was bang average, but we allowed it because Lampard, Ashley Cole, Peter Cech, they said they had good mentality. He said Timo Werner had good mentality. He said Kai Havertz had good mentality. He said they all. So that's why I was allowing it up. So now that people are telling me, okay, Timo Werner is not really converting that much. Okay, Timo Werner needs to fix up. But I thought we signed him because, okay, not only is he a good striker, his mentality is top. Isn't that what it's all about? So come on, why are people bringing up the mentality thing now where we signed all these players mostly based off mentality? Did you want Ben Chilwell before the season started? Everybody was like, okay, he's got a nice mind. He's very agile. He's very that and that. And they've obviously been playing quite well as well. And that's the same for every single player that we signed. So no, I'm not going to have that. Personally, with all respect, fam. I'm not.
Lewis, are you having that?
What?
I'm not like saying.
Oh, man said Pez character. You know, it's because I ain't combed my hair and it's just like your random dead afro. But allow me, we're in lockdown, man. You lot up there north, you got it good. Wait, Austria, you lot ain't even in lockdown yet, are you?
No, we are since yesterday, since Boxing Day. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, well, join the club, my bro. Dammy, what about you? You in lockdown?
Fam, you know tier 3. You know what I'm saying. You might not tier 4 in it.
Yeah, I might need my dad to give me another trim. I can't lie. My dad does good trims though. This is a low-key finesse.
Big up Mr. Gebre Selassie.
Yeah, big up, Dad.
But yeah, I mean, I fully agree with Dammy, and I think we all are very heated after this, and there will be very different opinions. And I can't even remember whether this was on this stream or whether this was on the stream earlier. That you said that the team, Lampard, the club are dividing us again right now. And you know when Sarri left and we got Lampard in, at least for a while, it felt like finally we're all not against each other anymore.
Yeah.
And I was sat here again. And it's honestly so triggering. And the only thing I will say is I am part of the problem in a way. I am a content creator. I am on social media. Exactly. But at the same time, I try to be as bloody objective as I can. And I try to give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. I will admit, I very rarely give Werner the benefit of the doubt. But hey, I told people before, I didn't like the guy before we signed him. And now I'm forced to like him. So, that is a bit of an issue I have, right? But if you would pick out one big problem, right? We know that there is a lot of problems. But if you were to pick out one problem that you'd say is the biggest problem, what would that be right now, Lewis?
In the squad?
Just full stop of the situation, whether it's the manager, whether it's the system, the tactics, the players, whatever, individuals.
System more. There's a lot of problems. Like we could talk about the form of Werner and Havertz, but we're just scapegoating Werner and Havertz if we do that. It's more the system. Like we said on my channel as well, we have the one of the best midfields in the league, but we're forcing all of our play out wide, and we're not even forcing it on both wings. We're just forcing it down the right hand side. And it's cool when you have Ziyech and Reece James because you can offer two different things. You can offer an in swinger, you can offer an out swinger. That is fine. Deep line cross as well, nearby cross is fine. That's cool. Without Hakim Ziyech, who do we have there? We have Christian Pulisic, who is driving more into the middle the more he gets the ball, also opening up space for James on the right, which I understand. You have Timo Werner, who is, if anything, he'll probably occupy kind of similar spaces to where Reece James would be, because he'd be trying to hang out wide. He'd be trying to hang out a little bit further wide on the right-hand side too. So I understand maybe a big issue for why we're struggling and we're forced into route one, spam crosses into Reece James, is because we don't really have another option on the right to give us anything different. But there are still plenty of issues. We're not going to scapegoat one thing, but the biggest issue, I think, is literally just the cross and inshallah football we've been doing the last few weeks.
Exactly. I do agree with this comment, with this, again, donation. Cheers, bro. I'm saying my point there, not winning.
Spirit is nice today. I love it.
Exactly. I do agree with this to some extent, because if you think about our most successful periods and any of the most successful teams, they didn't have dips. And it doesn't matter, like when 04-05 Mourinho Chelsea, right? We didn't dip. We played incredibly well pretty much every game. And when we didn't, we still ground out a win. And that was the same with Liverpool last year. That was the same with Man City 2 years ago. That was the same with the Barcelona's Real Madrid that won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. And that's what we don't have. And with that part, you can say they're not winners, they're not ready, they don't quite have the mentality. That's not having the mentality of working hard. That's the mentality of not being used to winning. And maybe that is to some extent true. And before I get to your donation, Jose, I will just ask Dammy, if you could pick one thing that, in your opinion, is the biggest problem, what is that? And then what I want to ask you both after that is, you know how we both say all we do with crosses. how do you solve that issue? As in, if you were the manager, what would you do to stop that issue being an issue? Obviously, we're not managers. I'm not expecting you to come up with the solution of centuries here, but just, curious. But Dammy, first, what is, in your opinion, the one biggest problem?
The biggest problem is all of us, from the fans up to the board, because all of us have massive issues. The board introduced a winning cutthroat mentality, years back. And the issue is, on social media especially, we were all born and we're all used to that cutthroat winning type mentality all year round. So that's why there will always forever be a disconnect with the Chelsea fans who were born in 1966 or whatever the hell they were born, and were watching Chelsea when they were playing 10th and 12th place football compared to now. Another issue is the fact that the players themselves, and like I said, it goes up in it. So from the fans up onto the players. The players right now, they were all signed for their strong mentality and their excellent technique and their potential world-class extra, blah, 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 blah. They're all here, and now they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Then you've got Frank Lampard. My guy is learning on the job. Not only is he learning on the job, he's not taking as much responsibility as I think he should be publicly to the media. And as far as, like I said, you've got Lampard. I don't want to use the word Lampard sexual, because I don't want to bring up anything related to 2018, 2019. But you've got people who have allowed Lampard to go so balls deep into them that they're willing to see us play tier 4 football because Lampard is manager. So you've got that as well. And you've got the bastard board, you've got the board at the top level who have put in a manager who is clearly not ready for the job, giving him so much money, expecting him to do so much more things. So the problem with Chelsea is Chelsea, from the fans to the top level. Every single one of us have our flaws, because like I said, there are very, very few people who are watching this thing and are looking at it and calculating it excellently well. That's why I was saying that for me personally, the only way we can solve this issue right now as fans is to understand Frank Lampard's appointment. We need to know exactly what that appointment is meant to be. Was the appointment done so that, we can have a manager who comes in, steadies the ship, manages the COVID situation, gets in a new set of team, maybe win one trophy and hand it off to a world-class manager? Is that what we're trying to do? Do you know what I'm saying? If that was the case, then right now I can drop all of my agendas. I don't have any agendas, but I'll drop everything I've been saying and we keep it moving swiftly. But there are so many different elements. But for me, it's from top to bottom. Every single one of us are involved. We're all in this shit show together, up the Blues, up Chelsea. And like I said, I think that's my main thing. From a tactical perspective, boss, I don't know. That's Lampard's business. I'm not involved. I don't think I have UEFA B license or UEFA A license, so I really don't know. But if I was to say something, I think we need to mix in crossing the ball in, crossing with purpose, crossing with purpose, and trying to play down the middle sometimes. I'm playing people in their appropriate positions. Because everybody will remember when everybody said, we signed this guy. Havertz can play as a right winger. He can play as a false 9. He can play as an 8. He can play as a 10. Now he's playing as 8. Oh my God, Lampard, why are you playing him there? Werner can play as a left winger, can play as a striker. Now he's playing on left wing, messing about. I'm not saying that's down to fully Lampard. Werner needs to fix up as well, innit? You get where I'm coming from. But now he's playing on the left wing. It's like, so everybody, every single one of us, you, me, all of us, all of you in the comments were all wrong in some way, shape, or form, up to the board level. So I think we need to fix that. But now, tactics-wise, like I said, we need to cross more with purpose. The crossing needs to have some purpose to it. And we also need to make sure that we fix up on that. We need to play down the middle sometimes. So,
that's my thing as well. Nothing happens through the middle. It's like we try. It's not super easy. And once it's not super easy, we just stop doing it. And that is triggering. I need to just get through a couple of the super chats here because otherwise I missed them. Jose saying, everyone has had an off period. This comes down to manager and players because at the end of the day, it's all about who wants to win the most. And it kind of interlines with the super chat we had before of the lack of winning mentality. We can say a lot of things about Lampard. I think a lack of winning mentality is certainly not his issue. That, because he's won too much as a player to have that issue. And some of the players, that is true. I mean, if you think about it, who in this team has a winning mentality other than Thiago Silva? Because who other than Thiago Silva has actually won anything? I mean, obviously, Hakim Ziyech has won a lot of things with Ajax, but that's a bit different. And when they had it against Spurs and were meant to go to the Champions League final, they bottled it as well. So it's not like there's all this winning mentality all over the shop. And you can talk about winning mentality at youth level, but at youth level, especially when you play for Chelsea, all the others are not as good at you. So that is a bit different as well, in my opinion. Obviously, if anything of you have to just throw something to something to throw in there, just do. But here's another super chat. £5 donation. Appreciate that a lot, Matthew. Saying, can't blame Lampard for Arsenal. I doubt before the game anyone was complaining at the team selection. This one's on the players. People need patience. I agree that the team selection was the issue, but the tactics and the only way of our attacking is still on Lampard, right? I mean, the fact that we had 34 crosses and 2 shots on target.
Matthew, Lampard was asking them to cross the ball into every single person. A lot of people are saying that Lampard, as a manager himself, used to run into the box when he was playing. You know, I'm coming on. He used to run into the box.
Late runs, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Kovacic, who has a horrendous goal scoring team, is expected to convert crosses. All right, no worry. Kante, who is 5'7", should be winning the ball with the rest of them, innit? Mason, come on. Mason Mount, maybe. But other than that, nah. If you don't think Lampard had a hand in our loss yesterday, or no, you see, that's what I mean by the extremes. With all respect, that's one of the extremes. Do you know where I'm coming from? Because some people feel like Lampard can't do no wrong. I'm not implying you, Matthew, specifically, but I just feel like some people just feel like he can't set a foot wrong. He's done nothing wrong. Because if this was another manager, if this was an Italian chain smoking, Marlboro munching individual, we'd be having a completely different conversation. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because if it's not Frank Lampard that's managing, the question is being pointed at the manager, and it's the manager that gets on the chopping block, not the players. So we need to all have that same we need to open up and then just look at those situations. So 100%.
I will say myself, with maybe the exception of Conte at the end, because he did trigger me a bit, I'm always the guy to say, all right, manager gets things wrong, but sacking the manager is not the solution. I was that guy for Sarri.
Yeah, I'm not saying sacking is the solution. I didn't say that.
I know what you're saying. I just know that you're getting at people criticizing certain parts of things, right? And I was even against sacking Mourinho when we was playing 16th. Maybe in hindsight that was wrong, and that was kind of a connection to the Howard Joseph because I fell in love with Chelsea when he was manager. But at the end of the day, I was never the guy to be, all right, if we are in trouble, let's just sack the manager. I always think we need to add players, and the problem is we added the players now, but sadly, those players that we added aren't doing their thing. I'm still not going to say, oh, this is a flop, this is a Morata, this is whatever. No, just not working yet. And this is what you said earlier, this projection and how many points we're projected to get. We would already have more points if, well, the likes of Werner would take his chances. Do you know what I mean? So it's like once these people get into their form, and hopefully they will at some point this season, rather sooner than later, obviously, whether that goes for Havertz, whether that goes for Werner, and it is Hakim Ziyech coming back from injury and then still being as good as he was for a couple of weeks when he was playing. If we have those things going for us, those guys in form and Ziyech back from injury and less injury problems, then we guaranteed will take more points. Almost inevitably, no matter what Lampard does, because better players in better form will get results sometimes, even if the manager gets it wrong. But to say just Lampard doesn't get anything wrong, like you said, even if we get relegated, we're still going to back Lampard. Back him as a player, but separate Lampard player, Lampard manager. Those are two different things. Those are two very different things. But here we have another donation by IB1. Lampard is an experiment. All that backing is unlike Chelsea. I mean, it is true, and that's maybe what Tammy got at earlier, saying all of us are the problem, because is that the right thing? But I mean, in my opinion, the thing is this. When we appointed Lampard, I was expecting to be inconsistent. So I'm not sat here now, even after the spending in the summer, I was not expecting saying, oh, we're going to win every bloody game now. Even, yeah, I will admit, after the couple of brilliant... Can
I say one thing? I mean, like you said, we're all expecting to be inconsistent, but it's the same way some people would not read for an exam. You expect to fail the exam. When you fail the exam, doesn't mean you're not going to be upset.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Lewis, do you want to just... I mean, maybe you understand the question better than I do because I'm kind of struggling. Play in the middle to create spaces for wingers. I don't really see what he's saying, but if you have anything to add to it, otherwise... Try and give me your solution to our issues.
I'm not sure. We're saying create space for the wingers, but one of the biggest issues that we've had is that we've had a lack of wingers so far.
Yeah.
I would want to see us playing more through the middle. We've said that was a huge issue for us in recent games. We've just been spamming crosses off the right-hand side, but we need a different style of play, something that we can fall back on, because like I already said, Frank Lampard has this thing where he finds the formation that works, that can beat a few teams, and we stick with it until it doesn't work. And then we persist with it continuously until we have a couple of bad results, and then we change it. That goes round in circles, and I think we're at that part again where we're at another style of play that kind of does need to get changed up, even not permanently, because this might be a good plan B or a good thing to return back to. But we need a different idea. We can't have the same one type of football because we're just going to be predictable, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, there is so many issues going on. And obviously, guys, obviously there's more people watching my channel than usual, which I'm grateful for. 400 and whatever odd people. We even had over 500 earlier. So if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe. Smash the like button. Subscribe to these guys because they are brilliant. And obviously, I can't quite get to all of the comments. So if you want to make sure I read out your comment, do use the super chat function. But hey, not forcing anyone to do that. Just appreciate you being here. But we've been going for 40 minutes. I think we should mention a couple more things, and I feel like it might be time to talk a little bit about the Aston Villa game, because we haven't actually done that yet, even though we've basically been talking for God knows how long, including the stream on Lewis's channel. We do have another super chat here. I don't know what currency this is. If anyone knows what currency it is, but I would read it out by Paul JR saying, should Werner be benched going forward with Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic back? Yes, and they should even more so be benched once Ziyech is back. The one thing is, I would like to see him at some point try it up top, see if it works better, and it somehow miraculously does work. Because I can say all I want. Oh, it doesn't make any difference if he plays on the left, if he can't control the ball, if he can't pass, if he can't dribble, if he can't shoot. This is true, but maybe somehow miraculously, just knowing, okay, I'm playing at striker today, these things do work. So I do want to see it tried at some point, but for the time being, right now, I do need to see him dropped because it's a bit of a madness, some of the things he's been pulling off. I mean, honestly, I said this to Lewis earlier as well. Chilwell, you can just see in Chilwell's eyes and in his movement, he doesn't want to give the ball to Werner when he's on the left. He just doesn't. He knows whenever Werner is the ball, we lost it straight away. And I don't want that. That's like when we had Barkley playing on the Sarri, like bad Barkley. He got the ball, we lost the ball. It was an instant. It's like playing Alonso at left back. He gets the ball, we lose the ball. That's the last kind of player I want in the team. Honestly, it's the last kind of player I want in the team. And I'm not sure. Do any of you know what ZAR, what currency that is? Because I have no idea.
South African Rand.
There we go. See? I've bring the knowledge on the channel.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was as well. Perfect.
But guys, what about Aston Villa? First of all, we know that very few players can play the games again.
Then we just 7th as well. It's jarring.
Exactly. But if anyone, do you want to name me the players that you think that started yesterday that will start again? Let's start with Dammy this time.
My starting 11.
No, just which players, if any, that started yesterday will start again tomorrow.
Mason Mount. 100% Mason Mount. Mason Mount was the only one that was good yesterday, from what I remember.
Not Pulisic.
Pulisic was decent. Pulisic was decent. You know what I'm saying? It was quite good, to be fair. This number 10 shout. We don't play with a number 10 anymore. Pulisic, Mason Mount. Who else is involved? Cover. Might as well. Thiago Silva. I don't think he's going to play because, obviously, I'm not going to rush Thiago Silva back in. So. Because obviously he just played the game yesterday, innit? So I don't know.
Do you reckon Zuma? Do you reckon he'll change both centre backs?
I don't see him doing that. That's suicidal. Aston Villa are not a mess about team this year. No. You know what I'm saying? These ones are like 7th, 5th, something like that.
They're ahead of us and 2 games in hand. Do you know what I mean? And
they're above us, innit?
Yeah, on goal difference.
So them two. Obviously Mendy has to play. We're not playing Kepa. Kepa is not playing. Reece James possibly, I don't even know, fam. I don't even know. Right now, I don't know. Some people will say Tammy because he scored, he might as well. I don't know, bruv. I don't freaking know. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. Lewis, what about you? Do you think anyone, and if so, who do you think will start again?
Timo Werner's probably going to start. Who's the other substitution as well? Let's be real. They both came off in 45 minutes, so they're going to start.
Well, he said Callum is going to start as well. That's what Lampard said.
Hudson-Odoi will start. He only got 45 minutes in that game as well. In fact, what were the 4 subs? It was Hudson-Odoi and Werner, and what was the second one? Jorginho and Kovacic.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a Jorginho, Kovacic,
Kante came off.
maybe Gilmore, Kovacic, Kante midfield 3. Werner starts still. We already know Hudson-Odoi is starting. Fullbacks are both going to change. Mendy will start. Zuma won't start. I mean, Thiago Silva won't start. So we'll probably see either Rudiger and Christensen or one of them two and Zuma in the middle as well. But I could see a couple players start for this game. Werner, I would have wanted to see him get a break, but he's starting this game. We'll have to be honest about it. He's starting this game. Pulisic played the full 90, didn't he? Or he was the last sub. So there's no way he plays in 2 days.
Pulisic definitely doesn't play. And that would be suicide, honestly. Like you said earlier. So we need to take care of Pulisic.
No, but this loss was suicide, in my opinion. We've made the Villa game so much harder for ourselves now because we didn't finish Arsenal off early. We've now overplayed a lot of players. Their fatigue's probably in the mud because they've had to chase the game for the most part of it. And now we're facing Aston Villa, who are in better mood. I think, are unbeaten in their last 3 or 4 games. They come off a 3-0 win, and they're a tougher team than Arsenal are. And we have to play a weaker side against them, potentially. So I'm not looking forward to it, I can't lie.
I mean, for me...
Champion football, you know, sitting in 6th place above us. They've got freaking, what's he saying? They've got more points than us. I mean, they're equal on points with us. So like, come
2 games in hand, do you know what I mean?
2 games in hand.
After this, we got Manchester City and Anthony Taylor's reffing that. So we've already taken the L on that game.
It's honestly deep. I mean, I think Zuma will start again. I think it would be silly not to start him. I would have thought Mount starts again, and I would myself, but I don't think Frank will.
Mount? Really?
I think he'll start Havertz on the wing, and then maybe. I guarantee he'll start Jorginho. I guarantee it. He was so happy with him yesterday. You praised him so much. I guarantee Jorginho starts. And then probably Kante as well. So Kante right CM, and then I guess either Mount or Gilmour as left CM, probably. And I don't think Werner will start. That's why I think, because he seemed triggered at Werner. He seemed proper triggered at Werner, saying he wasn't doing anything, basically. So that's why I think he will leave him out. That's why play Havertz on the wing, because who else do you play if you can't play Pulisic? Yes, Andrin. But even Andrin isn't actually a winger, do you know what I mean? Like, playing Andrin on the wing is a bit like, I don't know, playing Havertz on the wing almost. Not quite, but almost. He's actually more of a 10 as well. So I think Hudson-Odoi and Havertz probably on the wings. But it's a difficult one. And talking about formation against Villa, Michael Miller, I know you, bro. And cheers for the $5 donation, first of all. And he did say, I think we should play Pulisic as the 10. He plays that for the US national team. He brings the creative spark out to our attack. And I mean, I don't necessarily fully disagree, but first of all, you are also American, so that helps you think that. First of all, we don't play a 10 at the moment. Okay, you could say change the formation to that. But if we played a 10, I don't think Pulisic would be the guy that we put there, considering the amount of number 10 players we have, especially in Kai Havertz. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if we played a 10, I think it would kind of almost have to be Kai Havertz. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I certainly think so. And I think, you know, we've been going for nearly 50 minutes. Dammy said he needs to head off fairly soon as well. How about we do a little bit of a score prediction? Regardless of who ends up playing, whether it's what you would play, whether it's what you think Lampard will play, what you think is the score prediction. Lewis, how about we go with you first?
The Villa score prediction.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know, because I have less confidence in this. Well, way less confidence than I did going into the Arsenal game in hindsight. But yeah, Aston Villa. See, I'm still gonna back my team at the end of this. It's just, where'd you go after that sort of game against Arsenal? 2-1 Chelsea. Yeah, 1-0 Chelsea. Nah. Villa will probably get a goal. I can't lie. Yeah, 2-1 Chelsea. I'm going for that standard dead score prediction, but I think it's going to be one of them ones. But I still see Chelsea winning, so I'm giving them the victory.
All right. Dammy, what about yourself?
You know, I'm kind of scared to really give a prediction, because the last time I gave a prediction, it came out right, you know.
Let's just predict the win then, isn't it?
Honestly, Laurenz, from the bottom of my heart, I genuinely, if you want me to give, I can give you my, you know the standard PR social media stuff.
Honest, bro, honest.
I think we are going to lose 2-1.
Aye.
But that's the thing. I don't want people to think I'm not negative. Please don't slander me in the comments. Don't follow me. Don't block me. Please don't do that, because
follow him.
positive, yeah, Zach, I know I need to hit the gym. My muscles are looking a bit scanty, yeah. But my thing is like, it's not like I'm not trying to be negative. I want my team to win every single time. When Chelsea win, I'm the most electric and gassed person in town. Just check out my video. You can come over, you man see what I mean. Come in with the whole listen, high pitched voice, and I'll be gassed. But this next game, I don't back a W because these man piped their last two opponents 3-0 on the bounce twice. They kept 2 clean sheets. So I don't know, man. I think the score line is going to be 2-1. I don't know who's going to win. Let me put it like that. So it can be like I'm somewhat positive because Aston Villa are not a mess about team this year. 100% not a mess about team. And they scored a crap ton of goals. Do you understand? They scored 3 less goals than us, and they conceded 4 less. So that means they've
played 2 less. Do you know what I mean? So like. They've only scored 3 less than us, but they played 2 games less. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And one of them is Newcastle, where you could see them scoring 3 again. I agree with Lewis's prediction. That's what I went with in my preview as well. But I have a bit of an explanation for this. Squad. We played 2 days ago. They will need to rotate as well. And if they don't have their first 11, but their second string players, I think that's where we just take the edge. We're just so much. Our second string team is so much better than Aston Villa's second string team because if it wasn't Aston Villa, we'd be fighting for the title, right? So that's why I think we'll win. If both teams had more of a gap between the 2 games, I think we'd have bigger problems than we probably will tomorrow. That's why I think so. So as much as Chelsea and Lampard and the fans are complaining about that we only have 2 games off, because Villa also have 2 games off, I think that is the reason why we will win. And we did have another donation here, saying lost to Villa, win against City, SW6 Santa Claus. Hey, I don't even know if I take that, you know. I mean, it's always fun to beat Guardiola. It's always fun to beat City. It's a bigger game in itself. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's only 3 out of 6 points then, and we won 6 points out of 6 points, right? Because we've dropped too many already. The amount of stupid points we've dropped this season is ridiculous. Like, I'll accept the loss to Liverpool. That was a bit unfortunate with Christensen. The draw with United and Spurs, not great, but I'll accept them. But the West Brom, the Southampton, the Wolves, the Everton, the Arsenal, those are just unacceptable droppings of points, I guess. That just shouldn't be like that. But boys, I think we've covered a lot of things, especially myself and Lewis. We've been nearly going for 2 hours here. Do you have any couple of other things that you want to say before you head off? Obviously, Dammy, I know you said you want to head off, so if you want to go first and then just leave before we sign it out, do that. Happy days. But first of all, thank you to both of you for coming on. Subscribe to both of their YouTube channels. Check them out on Twitter, the Instagram as well. Did you start using Instagram now, Dammy, or not?
Bloody hell, fam. See, I've got pictures. Don't worry, man. 1st of January will come. They just be following. Just be there.
Exactly. So just follow, so you'll see all the pictures. But yeah, check both of them out. And of course, appreciate both of you for coming on. And appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. And Dammy, yeah, give us your send out peace statement.
Brother, listen, if you're a Chelsea fan, yeah, I know your pain. You know what I'm saying? It's so annoying how one thing can actually mess with your whole mood. It's shocking. All I've got to say is right now, just go with the flow. I'm not going to come out and act like a positivity merchant. I'm not going to be a negativity merchant. I'm going to keep it real with you. Right now, I just want us to get back into the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to happen because our next 2 games, it's going to be a very sticky international break if we don't win our next 2 games. You know what I'm saying? So let's just see how all of that unfolds. By the end of the day, I'm still going to always back my football club. You need to back yours as well. Let's try not to get too pissed off. Stay off social media for a while. Obviously, watch my videos and Laurenz's and Lewis's. But stay off social media for a while. Do you know I'm coming from? Chill to the next game. See how things unfold. If we lose to Aston Villa, delete Twitter.com. Delete Twitter.com. Just delete it and block the IP address in your house. Okay? All right. But other than that, I don't have much more to say. Other than that, really.
Bro, I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Lewis, yourself, a bit of a send-off statement, or what's happening? What's happening? This is just a message.
This is just a message to all the Arsenal fans in the group chat, in the comment section. Big up all you guys. Amazing victory today. As I said, Arteta is at the wheel. Believe in Mikel. This is the turnaround. Massive belief in the guy. What a manager. Fair play. Great result, lads.
15th. Come on.
Pandemic Pulis. Let's go.
Yeah, go on. What's your guy calling? Tapas Pulis. Big up himself.
Tapas Pulis. Pandemic Pep. You understand? Let's move.
Boys, ladies and gentlemen, everyone that has watched, I really appreciate the support. Everyone that's new here, if you're still watching, make sure you subscribe. That'd be massively appreciated. Smash the like button right now, whether you're watching it live or as a video later on. Although if you get to 55 minutes while watching it later on, fair bloody play. Then chances are you probably are subscribed already. But I appreciate all of you that have tuned in. Thank you guys for watching. Obviously, live reviews over on Blues Fans TV tomorrow. Watch along by Lewis, phone in by Lewis, and then we do this again the day after that. So, tune in for that. Check out Demi, check out Lewis, like I said. And yeah, thank you boys for coming. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, it's up to Chelsea. It's upwards and onwards. And I'll see you